everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And on today's video, I'm gonna show you how I make clothes for my Sims. Sorry for the raspy voice. I actually just woke up and it's noon. And I actually tried to do this yesterday, but I was watching the video and I was like, there's a lot of things that is missing on it, so I'm just gonna redo it and try not to rush it. By the way, shout out to Jennifer Lay, because her video is the one that I keep on watching so that I can learn how to do this. So thank you so much for sharing the video. Also, all of the links that's gonna be mentioned on the video is gonna be on the description below. Alright, so the first software that we're gonna be using is gonna be Marvelous Designer. This is like in a pricey side, but I don't think that I can make any custom content, especially for clothes, if I don't have this. So yeah, go ahead and check it out if you want to. Just don't be surprised. Okay, so once that we have the software up, we just need to go to file and then add an avatar. Again, the link for this is gonna be in the description. Basically, this is the Sims for avatar. So they have the Sims for avatar for male, female, and toddlers. Male and female toddlers. Alright, so once that we have this, you will have two windows, so the 2D side and the 3D side. So there's a lot of tutorials that is out there how to use this software, but I will do my best to at least show you guys what is important when making clothes here for The Sims. So you can either make a pattern using the 3D model, but it's best to use the 2D model, which is on the right side of the screen. So what we need to do, or what we need to click, is the icon right here, which has the polygon, rectangle, and ellipse. So you can select what type of pattern you wanted to use by left clicking it and hold. So left click plus hold to select either the polygon, rectangle, and ellipse. So for the pattern, so that we have those angles, I'm going to use the polygon right here, and then you can just click or point to the angles where you want the patterns to be, like this. I honestly don't know how to describe this. So by the way, what we're going to make is gonna be like a long sleeve kind of sweater or something like that. I was like, maybe I can make a shirt, but I was thinking that if I just make a shirt, I will not be able to use some of the other tools that we have here in Marvelous Designer. So I'm going to make a sweater. So now that we have connected the dot, it's gonna show this, which is like a pattern, and then you just press A to select any pattern that you made. So press A and then left click, or did I say right click, and then we're going to choose symmetric pattern with sewing, or Control D, so that we can just copy that pattern. So when you choose symmetric pattern with sewing, whatever you do on this other side of the pattern will be applied on the other side as well. So for example, by the way, you can press Z, which is this, edit pattern, transform this side right here. Z is edit pattern, so you can click on the dots that you made earlier, and then you can adjust that. And then Control Z to undo. And then you can also like transform it, transform segment, edit curvature, or smooth curve. We're gonna discuss that earlier if we will use it. Okay. Alright, so once that we have this is the front side of the sweater. So we need the back side too. So we can just go ahead and select both of this, Control C to copy it, and then paste. Now we have the back side. Also, this pattern has two sides. So the white side is gonna be like the front side of the garment, and then the black side is the back side of the garment. So what we need to do next is put these behind our model. So you just select both of them and then select flip normals. There you go. So you have options to just drag this all the way to the back of your model, but that's gonna take a lot of time. So what we're gonna do is we select one of them or not, and then press this icon right here that says avatar display. And then you want to select show avatar or show arrangement points. So in that case, you can just select one of those pattern that you made and then select one of those points so that it will just teleport it to that side, to where you want the pattern to be, like that, which is a lot easier. By the way, this side will also switch, so just rearrange it so that you don't get confused. See, my voice is very raspy. Okay, so once that's done, we need to sew it or stitch them together. So it's gonna be this icon right here, which is the segment sewing, and then just select those sides that you want to be sewn or stitched. God, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, let's just use stitch so that I don't get I don't get confused myself, I guess. Alright, so once that is done, and once you feel like all of those sides has been sewn or stitched, you can just press spacebar. Oh, sorry. Let's move this a little closer so that it doesn't cause too much animation. By the way, this is right here. This is the one that I use fast, the GPU, which is super fast. And then if we use this one, the default, let's see, it's a little bit slower. So I think if you have a fast CPU, you can use the fast GPU. Anyway, so if we're going to make this turn this into a sweater, let's make it a little wider. So we can select these sides, this side right here, and then just adjust it. You know what, just adjust this like that, and then let's also make it a little longer. So you can select these points like that if you are in the edit pattern thingy, or just press Z or Z. So once that is selected, just drag that all the way there. There you go. I feel like I want it to be a little bit more wider, so let's make it a little bit more wider. Yeah. There you go. Alright, so now that's done, since this is like a miniature sweater or whatever, let's go ahead and add a sleeve. So I'm gonna select the polygon again, and then I'm just gonna align it here like that, and then you can just do this like that. Alright, so now we have that part of the sleeve right here, the front side. So what you wanted to do, because you wanted to have a full sleeve, right? So press Z again, and then just select this side right here. This is the lining on top, and then right click and then select unfold, so you're gonna have a full sleeve. See, so this one I don't want to use this, because when I try to do that, it do this, and that's not what we wanted to do. So I'm just gonna select that pattern and then use this to curve it, and then place it on top of her shoulder like that. I think that is good enough. So now let's go ahead and stitch that to our front shirt, or to this part. Alright, so let's go. Okay, not that, but this side. If you're getting confused where it is, you can just always stitch it on this side right here like that. There you go. So by the way, if this stitch, you can edit it. For example, if this happen, if it's like crossed like that, don't even try to hit the space bar, because this is what's gonna happen if it's crossed like that. See, it's a bad stitching. It's bad stitching. So you can edit it by pressing this button right here, or icon that says edit sewing, and then click on that stitch, whether you can click it on the 3D side or the 2D side, and then click or press Control B. There you go, and then press spacebar, and then it's laid down on our mannequin. Let's call her the mannequin. Perfectly. So let's also copy that. And what I wanted to do here is copy it using symmetric pattern. I don't want to do the symmetric sewing on it, because if I do, it fucks up the whole thing. So just copy it with symmetric sewing and then just align it or move it closer to our precious mannequin, like that. There. And then let's stitch that too. There you go. Make sure that it's not crossed or it's not bad stitching. And then I'm happy with that, so let's press spacebar. Alright, so let's go ahead and close this. Let's stitch those bottoms together. There you go. Now we have a full sleeve, right? Okay. So let's also close the this side right here. So now I'm gonna make just like a rectangle thingy. So I'm gonna press this again, and then S for rectangle, and then I'm just gonna do it like this. Now let's make it a little longer, like that. Okay. So this, let's go ahead and put it in on her waist, like that. There we go. All right. So this patterns right here, let's merge it as well. Merge that so that it's one cloth, one cloth. There. Okay. So what I wanted to do now is stitch this here so that it's gonna make like a garter effect, kumbaga. So if you wanted to sew it on these patterns, this will actually has a point right here. So what's gonna happen is that if you sew it like that, it's just gonna be sewn on this half of the pattern. So what you wanted to do is either delete this pinpoint or this point, but I don't want to delete that yet. But you can delete that in this, and then you can stitch that on them now. But so that you can make like a seamless stitch, click this pattern here, but also press shift on your keyboard, like that and like that. So in that case, it's gonna make like a seamless stitch for the whole shirt. There. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's gonna make that kind of a garter, like an enclosure. So we'll have more texture at the bottom side. Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's now 3:41 and I had a lunch because I got really hungry. So let's go ahead and continue this, and let's close this side here so that it's like a full, like, what do you call that? Like a garter. So we can have this ripple right there, have more texture, just kind of pretty, right? So let's also make the sleeve a little longer, so it's, see how easy it is to edit it, like that. Okay. And then I also wanted to put like a something in here for the sleeves. So let's make another rectangle like that, and then let's check the show arrangement points, and then let's stitch that on the side, on the end of the sleeve. Again, shift and then choose those 2 points, and there you go. Alright, so before we close that, let's copy that again. Let's copy it with symmetric pattern and then put it on the other side. Again, show that, and put it over here like that. So let's stitch that again here. There you go. Nice. So we have like a cool looking sweater. So I think it's kind of big, so let's go ahead and make that smaller so that it close it up like that. Then let's stitch the ends, both ends too. Does it apply here as well? No. Let's just stitch them up. Alright, so now we have a full sleeve. So I also wanted to edit the shirt itself, this one on top. So for the back side, we don't want that, so let's press Z and then drag it all the way up there. So if you wanted to make this like a round neck, you can either press C to curve it like that, but since that we deleted the symmetric thingy, let's just use smooth curve, like this one right here. So you just point or click or choose that point right there. Wait, there. Click and drag a point or click on a point segment. So click that, and then this is what's gonna happen. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Then there you just drag it like that, and it's gonna turn into a round neck. See? It's gonna make it round. You can delete all of these segments if you want to, but we'll do that later. Now for this side, I want it to be a little lower, so I'm gonna click Z again and then just drag that segment all the way there. Okay, so I think I want it to be round too, so let's go ahead and round that or smooth that curve there. See, it's much better. So the next step here is to make sure that our avatar is not showing on top of the sleeve or the shirt. So that black, that spot right there, so if it's showing, it's gonna create like a black dot on the shirt itself after you bake it. So let's make sure that it's not there. So stretching the fabric like this will solve it, but the other way to solve it is to select all of it and then go to this side, the property editor, and then from in this segment here that says save simulation properties, change the particle distance to 10. See, that'll actually fix that problem because we don't want the avatar to be showing on top of the sweater. All right, and then before you also save it or export it, let's select all of that, and in this part right here where it says miscellaneous, change the mesh type to quad so that the poly is not so high. Wait, did it change? There you go. Now it's gonna be a little lower, so I will tell you what the poly is later. If you don't have ZBrush, having or making this texture here in what do you call this, in Marvelous Designer is gonna be enough. I don't have ZBrush, that's why I would like to have more texture here in Marvelous Designer so that I don't need to worry about it later on. You can also change the type of garment that you're using here to make more of those ripple effect. So how you do that is that you go to this side right here that says fabric. By the way, you can also add like layers in this, or what's gonna happen is that, for example, this one here is gonna be like the top layer. For example, let's select this, and this. We can make this as a shirt, and then you can add another type of fabric or another type of garment. Maybe this, and this. Let's rename this as like garter. Garter. Okay, there you go. So for you to do that, for example, you choose this, and this. that's gonna be in this layer right here that says garter, and then the one that this and this is gonna be our fabric. There you go. So in that case, you can change what type of garment you will use for separate or different patterns. So let's say that we want this to be a different kind of garment. So we go to here to this to this side, sorry, fabric, and then go to property editor, and then scroll down to preset, the physical property preset. Then here you can change what type of fabric you want to use. So let's say we wanted to use trim hardware. It's gonna do that. Oi, wait a sec. Let's make sure that these are all under fabric one. There. So what if we wanted to use wool? Oh no, you here cause a garter. There you go. So that will also take effect. So let you see what the changes that happens on our 3D model if you change the type of garment. It'll either give us a lot of detail or not, like this one. But this will only take effect on this layer, okay? So we don't like the full leather, so let's use something else, like maybe this. No, I don't like this. Okay, so I'm really happy with this. There. Okay, so we're good. By the way, another thing that you can also use, so for example, you wanted to keep this um so that it doesn't move. For example, this part right here doesn't move. You go to this icon right here that says select mesh, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 selection. The one that I usually use is gonna be the pin. So what's gonna happen is that, for example, this side, I want this to be a little higher or lower, like that. You can do it from there. See, so that you can add more texture on your shirt. Let's say this. Let's say we want this to be a little lower, like that. Like so, no? So that is another tool, that is another useful tool that I use when I'm making clothes for The Sims. Okay, I'm good with this. Jesus Christ. Alright. So before we even go ahead and export everything, let's go ahead and save this first. Let's save this as sweater. Did I already save this earlier or what? Okay, it's this one. So let's go ahead and save that. Replace that. And then before you export it, let's go to this one right here, this button, or that's the one that says simulation. Let's go to UV editor and make sure that your patterns are not on top of each other, because if you do, you will not be able to fix it when you are in Blender. I also suggest to not put anything in this box right here that says 0. Don't put anything in there. Just put everything in the other boxes, but not the 0. Okay, I will show it to you later why. Alright, so now we're ready to export it. So let's go ahead and hit the file in the tab, and then export, and then select OBJ, which is object. So we are going to make a new folder in here. So I'm gonna rename it sweater, and then on that folder I've always wanted to make another folder so that I know where to go. So I'm gonna name it MD for Marvelous Designer, and then we're going to name this sweater. There you go. There. Alright, so this will pop up before you press OK. So this one right here, select or unselect this, uncheck that, then keep it to single, and then unweld, thin, and then this part right here, if you have this version of MD, make sure to unselect this diffuse map, because if you do not select that, this rigs will show up later when you are in Blender. So just uncheck this. Okay, this is the one that gave me a lot of problems before. And then image size would be 1024, file texture is 5 mm, and the scale should also be M. And then on this side right here that says file, just save with absolute texture image file path. Yeah, just like that. And then press okay. Hold, make sure that this is not selected. Unselect. Okay, and now that is done, we are now done with our pattern or our shirt in Marvelous Designer. Next up, we're gonna be exporting this to, what do you call this? We're gonna be exporting this to Blender, and that's gonna be on the next video.